Good and Tag, mein Lebens. Welcome to the S.H.O.P, the social hub of positivity. Here again, we are on tour in Cornwall as one of our areas of work that we have with our good friends down here at Reach Out Cornwall, Trish Hoskins. But someone on the show today who's made a lot of the stuff that we do happen and is a regular visitor to the show, because she's a regular visitor to our shows and our lives, ladies and gentlemen, the wonderful partner in crime, Donna Lee.
Good. Yeah, we're back in Cornwall after quite a
2 years.
First time for a couple of years due to pandemics, but we've been working down here since 2009. We first came here. No, I mean you came before that.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Sorry,
yeah,
I'm just thinking about when I first came. It's all about me.
So it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Can do have been coming down working now with a lot longer than that. Thank you. But how did you? What do you think about the new venue, the 7 Stars and what have you?
It's amazing. It's amazing. I don't know how much
7 Stars in St. Austell, because it's obviously a new podcast, and even though we've done 3 from this very location, this is the 3rd. This is a separate one. You might be watching at home thinking, what are they talking about? St. Austell, Reach Out Cornwall, Trish Hoskins, absolute legend, Dion, the whole team. So lovely, aren't they? New team,
absolutely
fantastic,
lovely.
and young people.
You know, and they've created a space that's kind of really homely, functional, tasteful, everything about it. It's just beautiful.
True enough.
And
real great opportunity
and
there.
Loads and loads of really hard work. I mean, and that's the interesting thing, is that they've kind of done it just off their own backs. It's taken them only a couple of months.
Yeah.
Of building, putting in fire
Got there
doors.
At the end of August.
Yeah.
It's amazing, isn't it?
It is amazing. And they've already got young people that seem really happy there as well. And that's the important thing, is they're sort of content learning all those life skills and very, very much in the flow. And showing the film that we showed.
Well, having the opportunity, because I mean, we could have just set it down through the pandemic, but the actual joy of seeing and hearing the response firsthand is part of the joy of doing stuff, isn't it, really? And that was all mental health stuff. I mean, it's even more relevant than it was, wasn't it?
Yeah,
more relevant. Yeah.
Yeah, we were saying earlier, it's just more important now than probably ever. And there's the film was contrived. What's the right word? Yeah, contrived by a group of young people who talked about their experiences of parents with mental health problems. And one of the things that came out was it's really hard being the child of a parent who is really up and down, and you never know where you are. And that's what we tried to present, was that we wanted young people to think that actually it wasn't always their fault. It wasn't ever their fault.
It wasn't always their fault.
I was going to say always.
Some of you kids out there, stop doing what you're doing, because it might be your fault. Yeah,
absolutely not. But that very often, because if a parent is really struggling with their ups and downs of managing their own life and their own emotions for whatever reason, and never intentionally, kind of all over the place. As a child, you sit back, and because that's your early experience of life, you end up thinking, well, my mum must be cross because of something I've done, or my dad must be cross because of something I've done. Or
I never thought that in my upbringing. I always knew it was Don.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think it was probably Dante.
Dante. It really struck me. You think about, we did that not that long ago in real terms, but long enough, and we would have been down again last year. We'd have been down every year to Cornwall to work with the wonderful people, but it really did strike home, and you're particularly good in it. And we're going to show some of that on this, and
Straight, please. Thank you. That's much better. Right. There we go. Right, lovely. Okay, that's better. Breakfast. Look at the state of you. You're not going out like that. No way. You've got to take her to childcare today. You're not going like that. You change after breakfast.
I'm gonna fall out the tree. I tried. I'm too high up.
Wanna come down there?
Yeah. I don't know how.
Or use me as a step ladder.
I wanna go back up the tree.
Don't throw the chair. Rose, don't make any crumbs. Right, come on, girls. What are you waiting for? You've got to get out. You've got to get out. I've got to get out. Okay? Quickly.
That was awesome. So I think you... So what have you got planned for the rest of the day then?
Would it be okay if me and Marie meet my friend Jess at the beach?
Yeah. It's supposed to clear up later, so... Yeah.
Cool. And could we have a barbecue when we get back?
Yeah! We've got some stuff in the freezer that I can get out and defrost. And we can have a... Yeah, definitely have a barbecue, yeah. Sure. And you said you got friends to come along?
Yeah.
Okay, bring them along.
Cool.
Open house. As usual.
We're not having a party though.
Right. Okay, girls. Today, you listening? Both of you? Right. Today, you're taking her, yeah, to the play scheme at the Children's Centre. Yes?
Yes.
Yes? You
Yes.
remembered? You're not doing anything else, are you?
No.
Her to the Children's Scheme at the play centre by 10.
Yes.
Right? Okay. And you told me beforehand. Your hair, awful. Awful. I hate it. Really hate it. Right, I'm going to get ready for work.
You know Mum's going to be mental if you get dirty today.
The psychological aspect of that and how it just switches like that.
Yeah. And well, what's been lovely about all the projects that we've done in Cornwall over the years.
Oh yeah, the refugee one.
Yeah.
That was
I mean, they have
superb, wasn't it?
tackled
The actual
really,
depth
really
of what I want to say there.
deep,
There,
dark
the
issues, and the young people
participants,
have
yeah.
just embraced that and explored that. The refugee project we did a few years ago explored what would happen if a refugee young person was washed up on the shore in Cornwall.
And that,
but
if you
all the sort
remember,
of reactions of a small community to change.
Change it,
that
yeah.
was interesting as well,
Yeah.
and people's experiences of their own families,
Yeah.
different reactions to things. So
Interesting. I bet you there hadn't been known that many refugees, because that was someone washed up on the shore, and that was inspired by the fact that there had been dead refugees from Syria, I think,
Yes.
washed up in
Yeah.
Turkey, or am I
Yes.
right, or something
Yeah.
like that.
yeah.
Since then, there have been thousands of refugees, literally, and I can't believe that there haven't been any washed up dead, and I don't wish them to be, I'm just saying. So that is a reality now. And I think people need to look into the reasons, A, why there would be any refugees, and B, what they think they would do if the situation was reversed.
And that was what
And
was-
also to research sub-Saharan Africa. Yeah, not just look at the ideology, political. Look at the actual environmental disaster that mainly the democratic, the developed world has created on our planet, and why people, water sources, flooding, desert,
Desert's growing.
deserts growing,
Yeah,
famine. Look at all those things. They're all connected, and they're all connected to greed, capitalism. Capitalism caused climate chaos. Discuss. That's my own hashtag in case anyone's out there. Going hashtag crazy. It is, mate.
But
Honey,
going back to the
back to your hashtags.
hashtag Cornwall. Yeah, and it isn't all scones and fudge, really. I think is what we've been exploring. So things that have come up in the various films and projects we've done is about isolation and poverty and access to services and different experiences. Being in an area where actually the main industry is just tourism, and the impact of that on people's daily life, especially this summer with people having a staycation. Sort of people haven't been able to get to work because of the traffic jams. They haven't been able to do anything.
It's crazy.
So it's always a difficult mix because
and the pandemic,
it's an economy that's dependent
boardmasters. How you know, just for the, you know, not blaming boardmasters, by the way, just saying that, you know, when we look at that whole pandemic thing, you've got to look at, in Chippenham we definitely are, Wiltshire, all the councillors and all that stuff, definitely going to put that documentary out and just see certain people's role or not in supporting the community. Down here, the idea of all, just so many tourists and the locals telling us that they've only just started going to the beach now, and we are in the end of October. I'm on a t-shirt as well, climate change, in the end of October. What day is it?
Middle of October, I reckon.
Middle of October, doesn't matter.
Yeah,
when was the last time you thought you'd be down in a thing, out in a tea? But there's still loads of tourists down here. So tourism
and
as a concept.
It's not necessarily an awful thing, visiting other places, new experiences.
Do it in shifts, people. Let the locals have a bit of time with themselves.
And it's really difficult where, you know, for the
Relying
area
on
we're
the
in,
money.
people's livelihood was around china clay and mining and all sorts of things. And all those things have gone. So
China Clays is still here.
But not as big an industry.
Not as big as an employer. I bet it's more machines.
So it's a difficult one, being dependent on something, but at the same time, kind of finding it really difficult to manage.
Or bad for your health psychologically as well. Some
all
old
those
industries.
All those things are really hard, aren't they?
Totally.
It's like, you know, there's an industry that's not very good for you, and then you find an industry that could be potentially nicer to people, blah 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 blah. But that has a massive impact on local economy and people's sense of belonging in place, because people end up that they can't afford to live where they grow up. And so the other thing we've kind of explored with the Cornish groups of young people are issues such as domestic violence.
Which is a big project we're doing now, isn't it, with the coercive relationship project that we're doing, and with Sounds Like Women. It's an amazing combination of stuff, and our own young people, of course.
And the bravery of people's true stories.
Well, isn't it interesting that even more, it's been more exacerbated, and we've been working on that for a while now.
From people being locked in somewhere.
And
not
that's what I was going to say,
have
that we've been working on that for a while. Obviously, we've been going into our 24th year, haven't we? So we've been looking at all those issues. They haven't necessarily over the time, like the climate disaster, haven't been the topic on the media's radar, or even on local authorities. And part of what we've been doing over the years is help inform that, and go to the Home Office and work advising ministers, Every Child Matters, all that sort of being part of the discussion around those sorts of white papers, green papers, as such. Which again, local authorities don't get. And I think we just work with young people. It's like, no, we work all over the country. That's why sometimes it's laughable when you're at a local level. You've got such sort of, I don't know what to call it. Do I call it amateurism? I'd probably call it a little bit more than that in private, though. What do you think I call it? Right into, what does Ed call it? Well, he's not been filmed. Care of Chippenham Town Council. Sorry, Donna. Now, on a brighter note and a lighter note, you've also been doing a little bit of footage on the beaches where you've written some poems, because Donna is a fantastic poet, and don't you know it? We're going to develop that book, aren't we? Your poetry book, and we're going to have it available for people to read. We have got some examples of Donna's poems.
Or use as doorstops.
How big do you think the book's going to be? How light's the door?
Only for doors that got a little gap.
Oh, I see. So the wedge is more, not door stops.
Not
door stop for me sounds like a home, like a heavy thing. Yeah, well, hello.
Or you could use it
COVID.
under a table that's wobbly.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
but very specifically only wobbly by
Yeah.
a few pages.
Yeah,
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 good,
yeah.
because I thought you
Yeah.
had Dickens, the complete works
Yeah.
in your head there.
we
We're going
have-
to we're going to show some of the poems that Donna has recorded.
This is called Seasonal Shift. The arrows are lifting and the goalposts are shifting. Remind you what you're thinking with your seasons and your swings. Here I am with my cloak and my dagger. Your victory is one thing. Your silence is staggering. Where you once fell over, the words that tripped off my tongue. For my sins, for my lover, for my own heartbroken brother, may it more than rain. May the wind whip us up. Through your rough and tumbling, your fake tales, your hate mails, and all your stingrays and D-days. It takes so long to convalesce from this magnificent mess. This one came out of a great big...
But we are going to be look out for Donna's book of poems coming out, hopefully before Christmas, and Brian Reed's, and of course we've got Gordon Trafford's already on sale. I bought flowers. I bought them for loads of people. They didn't appreciate it. Yeah. So then Gordon bought
Only
flowers.
Gordon wrote a poem.
Yeah. Gordon wrote a beautiful poem.
He did
Gordon,
write a
yeah,
beautiful
both of
poem.
you. Considering you used to work together. I actually know Donna Lee, just in case people want. Donna was the council inclusion person at the wonderful John Bentley back in the day with Gordon Trafford, Mike White. And then became a trustee when we were a charity, and that's how we met. And then, of course, we did lots of projects and then developed a lot of the stuff we do at Can Do Arts for Sustainable Development together. But you are a creative writer, something of an all-round...
We've got a good creative team, haven't we?
Oh, we've got fantastic,
and that's
beautiful.
the joy of doing what we do.
Creative
'cause,
team, but also...
finding different ways of saying stuff that aren't maybe...
Yeah. We all
way
got
that
lots of
people-
different things, work in collaboration. Look at all those fantastic people down at our S.H.O.P, the Social Love Positivity. It's great. We've got a great community. We're lucky. And we get to work up and down the country. Anything else you want to say before we go?
I don't think so. Thank you for
nothing.
joining me in Cornwall.
No, I wasn't saying that to her. She said it to me. Thank you for... What about that? Just wanted to say this. Have you got any ginger tea? Absolutely not. Danielle, what's that pub? Rashley Arms.
At Paul Kerris.
At Paul Kerris, if you're ever watching this, yeah, you're a genius. That was the funniest thing I've seen in public for a long time. Nice one. Anyway, thank you for this. Thank you for that. Thank you for being a cool cat.
Thank you.
Love and peace, everyone.